Welcome to a special coach spotlight here at the Kokomo Post Sports. I'm your host, Jay Stevens, and as many of you know, sports fans in Howard County, we love to highlight any new coach, either at the high school level, at the college level, or even professional level that's coaching inside Howard County. And sitting to my right today is a new head girls basketball coach at Taylor High School for the Taylor Titans. It is Scott Sullivan. Scott, welcome to the show, but also welcome and congratulations on getting your first varsity head coaching gig at Taylor, the school you graduated from.
Yeah, thanks. I'm pretty excited about it. It's been kind of a whirlwind, thing. I never coached girls till the last few years, and I never thought a varsity job would open up for me to be the girls coach. So I'm excited.
You know, that word excitement is always surrounding anytime someone gets a new job, especially for the first time. But when you add the fact that you're getting this first job at the school you graduated from, you went to, that has to make it even more special.
For sure. I mean, my kids, that's the only school my kids ever went to. That's most of my family, that's the only school we ever went to. So Taylor's, rooted in me. I bleed red and black, always have. I believe in our kids. I believe in our school system. I believe in the people that we have in charge right now. Taylor's a place to be right now. I mean, we have great coaches in place. It's exciting. It's an exciting time.
You know, Scott, so I was looking at some numbers and looking at, when I found out that this is your first head coaching job at the varsity level, I'm curious about the why. Why is this the right job and right time for you to coach your first varsity job in your career?
One's timing. I've had the middle school girls. Like I said, I just fell in love with coaching the girls. Also, there was no teaching job available. You know what I mean? So like that, there's been times in the past where I've applied for jobs, and I kind of understood that if a teaching job came open, we had to have teachers. So I wasn't hurt by it. I just kind of understood the process. Well, there was no teacher job open, so I went for it. It was something that but I got to give the credit to the girls. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't have girls working and not putting any effort, I'm not sure it'd be worth the time. But we have a bunch of girls, young girls that are working, and we got to get the older girls to work like that. And the sky's the limit.
A lot of people look at the Taylor basketball program on the girls' side over the past few years, and maybe not even going to a game or attending anything, but simply looking at the win-loss record. I went back and looked at the past 10 years, could have gone back further, didn't want to, because just for time's sake, and really just thinking the past 10 years gives you a great picture about the program, where it was 10 years ago, where it currently is. Yep. There have been a lot of losses. A lot of losses, a lot of them. Only won one game last year. Didn't win a game the year before that. A lot of people will look at this position and say, I don't want to touch it. Nobody should touch that job. If you do touch it, I hope you get it right really quickly because things might go south even further. You're looking at it and you're excited about it. And I understand the excitement, but why excited about a position where things weren't going well over the past couple of years?
Because I know our kids. I think that was the biggest advantage I had of all the applicants, right? As I knew our kids.
Yeah.
For the varsity girls, we have Jelena Harris. She's probably the best athlete in the county as a girl.
Yeah.
Right? So we can build around that. But not forget she's number one in her class as well. You know what I mean? So like a girl like that, we have to build around. We have all girls come back with Malia Smith, Amelia Collins, Kira Phelps, Vanessa Davidson, Destiny Skinner, and Cece Howard played as a freshman, and she's going to be playing. So we have everybody back. We didn't lose a single person, and they got better last year in terms of individually. They got better. So like the sky's, we can only go up. We can only go up from here. And this is not a stepping job for me. If we win 5 games next year, if we win 10 the following year, I'm not leaving, right? This is where I'm going to be. So like somebody could have used this for a stepping stone to win some games and just kind of add to their resume. They won 1 game in 2 years, now they won 5. So I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about our girls getting better and building the program up and doing it the right way.
There's one thing that I've noticed about the head coaches at Taylor, and I'm going to talk about head football coach, head boys basketball coach, and now you being the head girls basketball coach. Everyone has a mindset of working and building and not being afraid of the opportunity or the athlete or maybe the outside reputation that people have at Taylor. Bob Wannell, AD and boys basketball coach, and then Rob Padgett recently hired as the football coach. no one's afraid. I just met you, but I can tell no one's afraid of the task and understands that there's going to be a path. Things may have to change with a mindset, but none of you guys are afraid of what's in front of you. And just for me to you, and I'll say this to all the other two as well, I like that mindset. I appreciate that because Scott, to me, there are people that girls you're going to be coaching that need people like you in their corner, because people may say, oh, that team's no good. But if you believe in them and you're with them every day coaching, that's going to speak volumes about what they might do, not only on the basketball court, but what they might do just in life, in the classroom, and other things beyond.
And that's the biggest thing. If you go back to the kids that we've had recently, we have college basketball players, but we have kids who are out working, right? I mean, they got 40-hour jobs, they're building families. Like, that's the most important thing. No one is consistently building Division I athletes or pro athletes, right? I mean, like, we have to build good humans, and that's what I learned that from Coach Bensler a long time ago. He was, great coach and still a mentor of mine, and it was always about us. You know what I mean? It was about us. And if I called him right now, he'd help me. And he's already told me, hey, any help you need, come to me. So, like, and the guys that you've mentioned, Coach, for me too, Coach Bentz or Coach Fisher, the old basketball coach, reached out to me. We have that same mentality. We're Taylor people, right? Like, we're the underdogs. We're always underdogs. You know what I mean? Even when we're really good, we're the underdogs. So I love that. I love that we're underdogs. I love that no one, and I've told people, before, like, I'm taking this job. We're not going to talk. We're just going to go. We're just going to go to work. People are going to realize soon that, we got something going on out here. So,
what have you guys been doing recently I know it's into the school year, so there's limited times you guys might be able to practice or not, but what have you guys done since you've been hired, if anything, to kind of get the ball rolling heading into the summer months?
So we just had a call-out meeting, and we had 14 girls sign up.
That's amazing.
And that's just from freshmen through, and I had two girls that weren't there. They were at the Career Center, and that's not counting 8th graders, which I know I only have a few 8th graders, but the goal is to build a JV program, right? We have to have a JV program. That's what I've told these girls. I got a meeting set up Friday for the returning players to talk to them about, the summer, but our summer will start next week. So, we got girls playing softball, track stuff, so we haven't had time, but I do have a group of middle school girls that we put into a summer league or spring league at Grand Park and have been playing. Okay. And so, I have Mackenzie Hazel, Nevaeh McKinney, Akayla Flynn, Addie Flynn, Taylor Allen, Jaime Moody. Can't be forgetting anyone. Oh, Javea Harvard. These girls have all put in time. Yeah. Put in time. They text coach, softball practice got canceled. Can we get and shoot? Hey, can we get, so I got a group of girls coming up that are committed to playing, and that was one of the exciting parts about getting the job is, like, I'm gonna be able to stay with these girls and we're gonna get something done. So, Zoe Miller, I think Zoe Miller is gonna be a great player too. So, like, we have, the future's bright. People can look at us and they can say what they want, but we're gonna move in silence. We're just gonna keep working, and a couple years from now, people are gonna know that, when they play us, they're going to be in for a tough time.
So earlier in the show, we discussed how this is your first time being a head coach at the varsity level. You also mentioned earlier that you didn't think you might coach girls, which you have over the past couple of years at the middle school level. You got to be not just excited, but looking forward to coaching those same girls that you coach in middle school, coaching them in high school at Taylor.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. That's the only word I really can. I'm ecstatic. I told them I was putting in for it, and they were hoping we get. But it's just not the girls; it's the parents, right? I have parents in that group that are committed. Yeah. They're going down and watching our games, every weekend, and they're willing to take their kids to JC Barnett and shoot. They're willing to take them to work out. So that's the most important thing, right? We can only coach so much and do so much, but when these girls are working on their own and they're doing all that, it's great. We won our game last Sunday, first game we've won in the league, and Mackenzie Hazel makes a steal, goes in, gets fouled, makes 2 free throws with 20 seconds to go to win the game. You know what I mean? So we're getting better, and we wouldn't have been able to make a play like that, And so I'm excited, man. I'm telling you, we got girls that can play, and we got girls coming up that can play, and the challenge is daunting, I think, to people looking from the outside, but man, this is going to be fun.
Let's go back in time a little bit and talk about those days, because you said I think you said your family moved from Indianapolis to Kokomo when you were about 3 years old.
3 or 4 years old.
3 or 4 years old. Then you ended up graduating from Taylor High School back in 1993. What memories pop into your head from those days when you were roaming the hallways at Taylor?
Man, we were all friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were tight. I had like 100. I had a big graduating class. We had like 116 people, and we knew everybody. We were all friends. You know what I mean? Like that. You know, I wanted my kids to experience that same thing, and they did. And just a tightness. This, the community. Coach B's still around. Coach Oliver, he's around. There's just people that you grow up in the Heights and you do all these things. Yeah. You go to that small school. We're still friends. We see each other out. We see. People we ain't talked to, and we just start picking up like we, hadn't left. I love that. That's what I want my kids to have, and that's how we've experienced it.
You play any sports back then?
Oh, yeah.
All of them, huh?
Yeah, I stopped playing basketball as a sophomore just because every year we had a different coach. And then finally, Coach Fisher came my senior year, and I should have played, and I didn't play. He's been a great mentor to me. But man, we played in the summertime, we were at the parks playing. We'd have 5 guys roll up to the park, play Highland Park, Fossil Park. We played basketball. We loved basketball, but I was a better baseball player than anything. I love football. I had a decent football career. I was all conference in football and baseball. But I really wish I would have stuck with basketball just because I said, Coach Fisher did a really good job. Coach Gabe was there at the time, and I should have played. But like I said, that's the only thing I really regret is not playing basketball. So.
Yeah, basketball is one of those sports that if you're good at it or if you're not good at it, it's just that team aspect, that locker room. That's a different type of locker room than maybe football or baseball. That locker room there can be a tight-knit group. What do you remember from those locker rooms when you were playing at Taylor? Because I can tell right now there's a lot of stories that pop into your head.
We still talk about it. We had so many friends that still good friends with everybody. We get together and we talk about memories of that. Stuff that bus trips, locker room, even baseball in the dugout stuff. Just stuff. And that's what we had to call out with these girls. I said, listen, man, I think playing a team sport is important. Right? There's just memories you make playing a team sport that you can't make doing other things. And like I said, the bus trips, I remember last year went to Carroll and played middle school girls tournament, and on the way home we had the radio playing and they were singing songs. I'm just thinking to myself, this is what it's all about. Yeah. So.
No, I'm right there with you. It is. And then between that time period and now, you've done a lot of coaching, assistant boys basketball coach at one time, long-time assistant football coach. In that time period, talk about the parents that now currently, the athletes, the girls last year at middle school currently, but you've had an opportunity to impact a lot of people throughout that time period. Why have you devoted basically your life to coaching?
Man, it was just something that I remember when I was young, man. I was a coach on the field, right? I always knew my dad was a coach. We just had that in us that we were kind of vocal, we were leaders, and I always knew I was going to coach. I did, and when I got to play for Coach Bensler, I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be that guy who was loyal to Taylor, who was always around. If they needed me, I was there. That's been my role. And I embraced that. But the coaching, man, it got in my blood. It was over. There's many times I said, man, I'm done. I'm going to retire. This is going to be the last hurrah. And then something comes up and they need me, I go, So, yeah. But it's honestly the kids, the memories I've made with the kids, the families, the kids that I've coached and their families are my family now. And it's, when I got the job, I told them, I was like, there's going to be some excitement with this hire because it's going to bring a lot of people together. Yes. And it did. You know what I mean? I had so many people reach out to me that I can't thank them all enough. But, I've got kids I've coached who are having daughters, and they're like, man, I hope you're still coaching when they play. And so it's just the fact, those kids all know that I'm Taylor. Yeah. I'm all about them. I'm about them being successful. I go and watch the kids play the other sports, and I back them, and they know that. And I think that's been my biggest thing as a coach was, and I keep bringing up Coach Spencer just because I played for him for so long, but he was a guy that, the X and O's part didn't matter. We'd run through that wall for him. And that was always kind of my thing is, man, if you get these kids on your side, you can't lose. And I feel like no matter our records in any sport I've coached that we can't lose. These kids are strong. They're strong-willed, and they've been successful.
How do you go about building relationships with the players you coach, but also the parents of those players?
Well, it helps because most of them know me, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've, so that helps me, and they know I've always been consistent with what I think and the way I coach, and to me, that's the most important thing in coaching: relationships. If you can't build relationships with them, we can't reach them, and they know that they can come to me, we can talk. So sometimes, I tell them, like, we're family, right? Who do you fight with the most? Your family. Who do you love the most? Your family. So there's going to be times we're not going to see eye to eye, but we're going to get together. We're going to talk about it. We're going to move on, and we're going to, keep being successful. And the relationship is it. If you can't get a relationship with them, then we can't get anything. And that's the biggest thing. It's easy. It's easy. You just got to be yourself. You got to treat them with respect. And I have a family. I took it was her little brother's birthday. I took him lunch. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now all the kids, I go into the elementary, I get to get around all the schools, and the kids are like, hey coach. That's what I want. I want them to know me as coach, right? Because these are going to be kids that are going to be coming up in the program. So, man, it's just that. It's a little thing. Just doing those little things to make relationships and just say hi to a kid. And, I mean, to me, that makes my day.
Are you going to be coaching football in the fall?
I am. We got to figure out how we're going to do it, but I am. I'm going to have some good coaches on the basketball staff that's going to be able to carry me, early until, football is over, or at least, where we know what we're doing as much, you know what I mean? But yes, it's going to be a struggle. I'm going to be busy, but no, I'm going to make it work. I think Rob's going to do a great job. I'm excited for our football program, and I want to be a part of it. So.
That Coach Rob, and I mentioned earlier about how you, Coach Patchett, and then Bob are all in sync in the approach and the mindset heading into the upcoming seasons you guys are going to be coaching, but also in how you guys want to impact the players that are at Taylor. It's interesting because I didn't know that Patchett and Bob had a past back when they were at Arlington and Indianapolis. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you had a past with them either, but did you have a past with either Bob or Rob before they got to the school?
I met Rob at a coaches convention probably 25 years ago.
Oh wow!
And so one of his best friends was Eric Hartman, who was our principal. I coached with Eric Hartman, so there was a connection there that I knew who Rob was through that connection. Yeah. And I always knew he was a good coach. I kind of followed his career just because of that. And so not a connection like that, but I did know who he was, and I knew Bob was a great coach. I knew he won a championship at Tinley when he got hired at Kokomo.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And matter of fact, as soon as he resigned from Kokomo, I text Jake. I just seen it on Twitter. I text Jake, our AD, and said, "Hey, man, you need to call about Bob." And he's like, "We got this." So I left it alone. So,
what can people expect from the girls' basketball team at Taylor in the winter? Excuse me. I keep thinking football because it's right on the corner. But in the wintertime, next time they're on the court, what can people expect from those girls when they play?
And they can expect us to play hard. We're going to play smart. We got to win with defense. I mean, we haven't put the ball in the basket very well the last few years, but we're going to play hard. We're going to play smart. We're going to learn how to play the game the right way. We're going to try to play a fun style. We want to play a fun style, but they can expect to see us get better. You know what I mean? Really, and that's the thing. We talked about this, and our goal is, let's not have running clocks this year. You know what I mean? It's got to be baby steps, and that's our goal. So, hopefully halfway through the season, people are like, man, we haven't had a running clock yet, and this team's gotten better. So that's the thing. We're just going to be consistent in what we do. And like I said, I'm going to have great coaches with me, and we're going to lean on some of these guys, and we're going to make this enjoyable to watch, I guess. You know what I mean? So.
So that defensive part there, I think it's a very valuable thing because you could try to coach fundamentals on offense, but that may take a little bit longer.
Yep.
But if you build the communication on defense and the fundamentals and simply teach, some people need to be taught how to get into a stance. I'm not trying to be funny.
No.
Some people simply just have never been taught, even at the high school level, how to get into a defensive stance. And so getting those basic basketball things and lessons taught on defense, Scott, I think those will help you on the offensive end.
Yeah, we have good athletes. We have some strong kids. I mean, we just have to be better at getting back on defense, stopping the ball. Just the little things, really, and we're gonna be much better. We're gonna. We know it's baby steps. We know we have our work to do, cut out for us as coaches. But man, we're excited. No one on my staff is gonna be not excited to be there, right? We're gonna earn our money. We're gonna, these girls are gonna know we're there for them, and that's the most important thing.
Last thing here for you, Scott. What is your final message to not just Taylor High School, everybody in Howard County about what they should expect over the next few years as you're leading the girls basketball program?
I can say this just not for the girls program either, but for everybody. Like, I mean, it's a place to be. I mean, Taylor's going to be the place to be. We're going to be competitive in all our boys' sports. The girls' sports, we just got to keep getting better. I think we're heading that way. But people are going to know, and this is me as a coach. I want them to take my personality right on the court, and so we're going to be. They know we're going to be competitive. They're going to get our best effort every time. And when you play Taylor, you know you've got your work cut out for you.
I really appreciate Scott Sullivan coming on the show. Special Coach Spotlight, highlighting the new girls basketball coach at Taylor High School. This has been a Special Coach Spotlight here at the Kokomo Post Sports. We'll see you next time.